Good morning. Wake up, sunshine. Check it out. Do you see? Can you see? Clean. Oh, still have that thing on my refrigerator. Darn it. I thought I was completely ready for vlogging, and clearly I'm not, but I'm a little out of sorts. It's rather early in the morning, which is why I'm talking a little bit lower, because I'm actually being polite to my neighbors downstairs. Those of you that have been watching me vlog for quite a while, you know that when they are here, they have a demon dog from hell that I would like to see really just relocate to another planet. But that's a whole other story. So, I don't have a lot of time because I have to head out. I think I mentioned to you guys yesterday. I was supposed to be going to New York yesterday. We changed everything, and so now I'm going to be there for just a little bit today, and then I'll be back in town. I should be the rest of the week, so, but I got to get going. So I don't have a lot of time, and I knew that people would be like, yeah, Kelly said she was going to vlog, and then she didn't. And then she said she was going to vlog, and she didn't. So I'm nipping that in the bud. Here I am, first thing in the morning. The birds are chirping outside. Guys are mowing the lawns way too early. It's freaking fall. Why are you mowing the lawn? That's what I don't understand. Okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, because I was reading some other people's blogs yesterday, and then late at night, last night when I couldn't fall asleep, and I started to notice, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this about my blog and vlogging, is I'm not talking about what I'm eating specifically, and I think it's really important. This is just my opinion, but Sherry and I were talking about this. I think I mentioned this yesterday. I was trying to remember what I wanted to talk about with diet. But, you know, like the past year or a year and a half for me, I just have felt like totally off my game. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened in my life, you know, blah, blah, blah. Had some serious medical issues and yada, yada, yada. But you know, realistically speaking too, and I'm not blaming anybody, but it really wasn't until I started working out with a trainer and starting to get into this whole like comp diet mindset that I started to really like go off the deep end mentally with dieting. And I think I've mentioned this before to you guys. I got to the point where I was feeling like, you know, I was scared to eat anything. And I think it's very easy, especially when you're, you know, in this blogosphere and you're talking to a lot of other fitness people, figure people, competition people, whatever, or people that are just watching their diet. It's very easy to hear a lot of noise and a lot of noise chatter about what's the best diet, what's the best workout, what is the best way to get lean or reach your goals. And the thing that I have personally had a problem with is I found myself listening to everybody, and everybody out there disagrees with everybody else. If I would start doing what Jay had recommended to me, then I would run into somebody, you know, one of my blogger friends who had either competed or whatever, and they'd say, oh, he has you doing that? Why don't you, you know, well, what about this? Or I can't believe you have that many carbs. Or what about this? Why aren't you cycling your carbs? Then I'd get all panicked and think, well, I shouldn't listen to Jay. And then Jay, sometimes if I wanted to try a different workout, like a Valerie Waters, red carpet ready type workout, he's rolling his eyes looking at that like, you know, that's not like a real workout. And it's, you know, this is not to say anything bad about any of these people that have had their opinions. I think the bottom line is there are myriad ways to work out, and there's myriad ways to diet. And when I say diet, I really just mean watch what you eat and kind of how you eat for life. I'm not saying go on a diet, you know, like 2 weeks or whatever. There's myriad ways to reach a goal. There's myriad ways to get lean. There's myriad ways to lose fat. And it's not just one way. And I think I just want to share with you guys that what I've found is I'm just getting back to basics, what works for me. I'm not sharing it like it's some secret thing. You know, a lot of it has to do with just counting calories and watching how much you eat. I mean, honestly, there's no secret method. And I don't know if any of you have run into that, but I think it's very easy to do when you're friends with a lot of people that are either trying to get fit or competing or whatever. Say you read these, you know, there's a new book out on diet and exercise every other day, right? If you find yourself, you know, reading Oxygen magazine, reading Fitness magazine, Shape magazine, talking to people online, talking to a trainer, you're going to run into what I have run into, which is every single person has an opinion about what everybody else is saying is right or wrong, and they're all going to contradict each other. Does that mean that one person is right and everybody else is wrong? No. quite frankly, I think the vast majority of any of these people know what they're talking about, but it just doesn't mean, I guess what I'm trying to stress is there isn't just one way to lose weight, okay? It's not just fasted cardio in the morning. That's not the only way to lose fat. It's not stopping eating after 6 p.m. at night. That's not the only way to lose fat or get lean. Isolation moves, that's not the only way to build muscle. There's plenty of people that have done it other ways. Interval training, HIIT, whatever it is that you like to do, I think that's what you should be doing. And whatever works for you as far as diet, do it. You don't have to be downloading shovels of protein. There are plenty of people. I know my friend Barry, he's a vegetarian, and he's built like a, brick house, if you know what I'm saying. But he's a vegetarian. In fact, I think he's a vegan. There's plenty of girls that I know, and I read their blogs. They're great. They're on my link page. And they're vegetarian, they're vegan, and you know what? They're eating a lot of carbs, healthy carbs, but they're doing it right, and they're lean and they're healthy. Some of them are just running. Some of them, crazy, this is crazy, they don't lift weights. Okay, so believe in what you're doing and figure out what you like to do and what works best for you, and stop listening. This is like my personal advice. Stop listening to what everybody else says, because at the end of the day, you've got to figure out what's going to work in your life. And for me, it's been kind of a rough year and a half where I was getting to the point, you guys, where I was in a horrible mindset. Again, fearing every piece of bread, fearing if somebody asked me out on a date, the first thing I'm thinking is not like, wow, cool. I'm thinking like, oh God, what if we go for sushi? Then there's rice and there's carbs. And I'm like freaking out about everything I eat because I'm thinking there's only one way to go. And if Jenny Lynn or Jay or whoever told me that I have to eat this, if I stray from that, it's all shot to hell. There's no way I'm gonna reach my goals. And that's a bad mindset to get into. I think there's a lot of people that are sweating a lot of the details that don't really matter. Bottom line is, eat less, not starve yourself, try to eat the best choices you can, and move more. That's all there is to it. And each of us have a different definition of what that is. Some of us like to work out 2 hours a day. I think if I had nothing else to do in my life, maybe I would like working out. I love to work out. I do not have time to work out like I used to anymore. I love what I'm doing with my business and my work and my career, and I'm more and more excited. So to me, it is. I love to work out, but it's just, this is it. It's an hour a day for me. That's it. 6 days a week. That's all I can fit in, and that's really all I want to fit in at this point, because I find value in these other areas of my life that I'm working on. So I just had a lot of you guys write to me, and everyone's like, what are you eating now, and what's working for you? And you know what works for me might not be appropriate or work for someone else. Me and Sherry, we've been going back and forth, being email like pen pals for, God, 10 years? Is it 10 or 12 years, Sherry? And she and I are very similar. But the bottom line is we finally are figuring out, like, comp diets. I go nuts. On those diets. I cannot deal with it anymore. I cannot eat the same thing every single day for 12, 15 weeks. And I totally respect the people that do it, because honestly, I literally am in a straitjacket by the 3rd day, losing my mind, dreaming of like the smallest piece of carb that there is. So I think it's awesome people that can do it. But some of those people, that's where they thrive. They thrive in that competition mindset. If that's not for you, that's not the only way. Figure out what works for you. And across the board, you can go to any fitness magazine, any clean eating magazine, whatever. If you really read the fine print, it's not even fine print, they're pretty much all gonna say the same thing. You have to eat less, period. There aren't a lot of people, unless they're like triathletes that are working out 6 hours a day, that can really eat whatever they want and eat a ton and still stay lean. The people that stay lean and stay fit eat reasonable amounts of food, and they move. Get your butt off the couch, work out consistently, stop worrying about watching TV all the time. If you have to watch TV, then get on the treadmill in front of the TV. That's all I gotta say. That's my little advice for the day, and I'm realizing that my alarm is going off and I have to go, or planes don't wait for people like me. I know they should. Oh, okay, single back. That's just like a shot of coffee in the morning. Okay, gotta go. I will see you guys Tuesday. I should be back either later tonight or early tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a great one. Don't make excuses. Remember, we're making progress, not excuses.